Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Hopefully it's working. I haven't checked if I'm in focus yet. Close enough. You got audio, you got video, everything's working, hopefully. Or it should be. How's everyone doing? Are you having a lovely New Year's Eve? I'm pretty sure you should be able to hear. It should all be working. Just poured myself a lovely cup of joe. Ready to get into it. I feel like I should probably get some music for these streams. They'd probably complement the vibe. But maybe next time. We've got some special treats in store for this second live stream. Got some special guests. Shout out to Joe Greer in the chat and Rich Lock. The gang's all here. Right. So I'm gonna guess that some of you were here for the last stream and some of you weren't. But the premise that I'm going to go with is I'm going to rate your photos. That's pretty much it. You're going to send me an email with some photos in. I'm going to have a look at them, tell you what I think. Okay. So I'll let you know that I've actually I've upped the stream quality this time. I'm going in for the professional effects. Put some effort in today. So here are the rules. Look at that. I've got a rule sheet. So you can email up to 2 photos for feedback to nfphotoreview@gmail.com. Photos must be sent as an attachment to the email. Please don't make me click on any links, I won't do it. Don't include anything you're not happy with being included on stream, whether this is you've got your phone number in your email signature or anything like that. Maybe remove it if you don't want it there. And please don't send anything explicit. That's kind of the rules. That's what we got going on. So the second point of sending in, I'm afraid all the people that are sending in right now, there is another part to this. There will be a keyword you have to enter in the description of your email. And that keyword will be updated over time to just give new people a chance to have their photo looked at. It's probably going to change like every half an hour. So I'm going to let you know the first keyword in a second. So there are like 5 people that just sent a photo. Oh no, there's more than 5. The people that just sent a photo, undo, please. I hope everyone's having a lovely whatever day of the week it is. Is it Thursday? Thursday. Somebody discovered scenes. Oh, you bet I did. I got more where that came from, I tell you. So, subject line. What should it be? I guess maybe we should go for something topical. Let's go for topic line NYE. New Year's Eve. NYE. Just spell out 3 letters. NYE. Nice mug. Where's it from? This mug is from Story MFG. It's very nice. I like it a lot. There's no themes. I had. Let me ask you a question about this, because I thought about doing a theme. I thought about, since it's the end of the year, maybe having everyone send in their favourite photo they've taken this year. I thought that could be fun. But since people have just sent in with the first topic, we'll start with this and then we'll go to that idea if people like the idea. So, give me like a yes in the chat if you think the theme of best photo this year is fun. Give me a no if you just want to do absolutely anything. In the meantime, here's your rules. Okay, I'm seeing straight yeses in the chat. We'll do that for the next one. Oh, there are some no's. Hey, look, if you send more than 2, I'm not gonna like ignore the email, but I'll probably just look at the first 2, you know? It's just to try and like allow me to get through more than 10 people's photos in the whole event. Right. I'm gonna start looking through the emails. Yes, the keyword is NYE, but yeah, don't worry. Oh, you missed it. There you go. All right. Are we ready? Please don't send it through a Google Drive thing. Just attach them to the email. Oh, wrong one. Why is my screen changed? That's annoying. Technical difficulties. I don't think you can see anything worth seeing anyway on this. There we go. I don't think I have a good enough internet to do a gaming stream. Well, a gaming stream which is like a game which actually requires like good internet, because my ping kind of dies when I start streaming. However, I would like to stream CS, but I just think it will be detriment to my games. If it won't let you send without attaching to Drive, you're sending photos that are too big. You could try and compress the photo before you send it. Alright, the first photo we have is from Philip Thies. I'm going to go with. And we got this square photo. I'm guessing someone on the beach doing some yoga. Can everyone see this? I hope. Looks nice. It's cool. Clean lines. I really like how like deep the shadows are. That like the subject is like completely blacked out, and it's like so rich down here. Like there's not actually a lot of detail in the shadows, but it kind of really works. Like I really like the messy texture of the sand. we got this. I mean, that's just a cool street, isn't it? I really like that street. Regardless of the photo, like there's something about like those kind of buildings and the roundabout aspect. It's not even a roundabout, but like the way those tiles in the floor are like circular out, it's satisfying. I like it. But in terms of the photo, it's cool. It's nice. I think it would pair nicely with a photo which is also closer up of them. I feel like it's not quite high enough quality to like really do your subject justice. I don't know if that'll come across on the stream, but it's quite low quality. Anyway, thanks for sending them in. My favourite coffee brand is Le Cabre from Denmark. James Shaw. Is this an otter? No, wrong sea animal. It's a seal. I've got it. It's cool. I don't think I've ever been so close to one before. Was this at like a park, like a sea life park, or was it off the edge of a boat? I've got so many questions. I really like the reflection in the water. Like, water to me is something which is like super interesting to photograph because it's just like such an organic pattern. Like it's so unusual, and you, depending on like the lighting or the motion, it can be completely different. And when you got one of these water dogs gliding through, it makes for cool patterns. All right, thank you, James. Onwards. Parker Milliken. This is cool. Some sort of monster growing out of the sea. It's a nice deadwood kind of thing. I actually took a very similar photo once when I was in Ireland. They had like, there was a beach that was like full of things like this, which was really cool. I think the photo is like a tad dark. Like you could have had a bit more detail in the shadows. But it doesn't help that like the subject down here is like significantly darker than the rest of the scene. That's just kind of gonna happen. Maybe to make this even more interesting, you could have had like a bit of fill flash just to and fill in a bit. Big car. Big car always equals cool. That's a rule. It's nice. I'm happy that you've put this pole in the middle. That's something which I think a lot of people don't do. Because, like, you see so many photos where, like, someone's composing something and there's a distracting element in the background. And even though it's, like, been blurred out by the depth of field, it's still there. So, like, when you're taking a portrait and you've got that in the background, quite often you'll see people take these photos where it looks like they almost have, like, an antenna, like, sticking out like this. And I find that really distracting. Like, I know that some people might look at this, and because it's got like a blurry background, their eyes are only drawn to the foreground and the thing which is in focus. But I find, I guess maybe as a photographer and someone that critiques work, I'm always looking at the bits that maybe I'm not meant to look at. And that's something which I appreciate that you've done here, that you've put that in the right place, that it's not obtrusive at all, and you've also like left the whole tree trunk in on the right side. This house on the left side is nicely spaced out. Like, it's just well composed. That's my thoughts. Thank you, Parker. All right. Axel Roten Brown. Norway. I mean, it's a pretty epic scene, isn't it? Like, Norway just has so much amazing, like, natural beauty. But this photo has most things you kind of want in it. It's got really nice lighting. It's great scenery. Like, what more do you want? It's really nice how the light actually moves across, because like in the very bottom bit, it's just caught, like it's in the shadows, and then it gradients out. Like it's not all golden hour. Well, it is, but like the way that you've caught it so that the front doesn't have it, it eases you into the photo. So like your eyes like look up and it gets brighter as the further you look, which is really nice. And then it looks like you got your poly things straight, which is good. It's just nice. Right place, right time. That road looks quite fun. I'd rather be there right now. Alexandra said it looks painted. I would agree. Very painterly. Cheater. Cheater. This is too many photos. We'll look at the first two. Oh, I can't even click on them. Well, I'll look at them as a whole quickly. And they're all quite similar. Oh, this one I can click on. It's really small. This one's my favorite. I like the subframing of the trees. But I can't click on some of them, weirdly. And it's really cool atmosphere, the lighting, and the grading kind of works with it. But it's not my favorite when you've got these huge color shifts to be like super green. I'm normally not too big of a fan of that, but in some of these it works just because of like the atmosphere it brings. It just kind of looks like a horror movie, you know? Alright, next, sorry. William Pichardo. It's been a lot of square so far today. One thing about this which annoys me is this this bit down here. Oh, I can't even get to it. That white bit in the foreground, I would clone stamp that out or crop it out if you're against editing like that. It's just like so much of the photo is dark and like draws you in and feels like heavy and full. And just because there's that like one obtrusive bit which is so contrasting, I think it'd be a lot nicer if you lost that. But it's cool. I'm here for this tree. This one's nice. You have a bit of your scan edge still in though. You could crop that out. But it's a cool photo. Like the harsh lighting really works here. Like the shadows off the chain link fence make it look like an even weirder pattern, which is really nice. And it's just like really nicely sharp. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce this name. But we've got some water bottles. It's nice. Good contrasts of colours here. With the nice primaries of red and blue, and the blue fence, which also pairs nicely with it. I think if you just cropped up a tiny bit and didn't have this bit of pole in the bottom right, which you maybe can't quite see, just that little bit on the bottom right, it'd be cleaner if it started on bottles. But that's just a minor opinion. Alright, Dylan John Manganay. Sorry if that's wrong. That's cool. Nice, like, bold, saturated colours. That's a good pose. The only thing which is, like, slightly distracting from which may have been too hard to manage, but, like, the hair is just, like, quite wild, and you could maybe just clone it out. Maybe you're against that, but there's a lot of, like, frayed hairs around, and something that works really well for me in this photo is, like, the distinct contrast between the subject and the background color, And if it was just like taking to that next step where it was slightly cleaner, and then you could also remove this tiny bit here, that bit there, it would like really pop against each other. It would be nice. This one's cool. Done well to like face the subject in the right way in the light, so that it's like, even though it's super harsh, it's not obstructing their face too much. You can still make out their eye, which is good. Thanks for sending them in. Is the chat really just becoming like Instagram promotion? That's not what we're here for. Come on. We should all be critiquing stuff. Actually, no. It's nice. Keep doing your thing, everyone. We got Gabriel Sayers. That's cool. Is that like a concrete beach? So it's a very strange scene. But it's nice. The colours are really nice in it. Like the contrast between like super pastel blues. Like it looks like the blues like aren't quite a natural colour, but in a nice way. But then the reds are like super rich in comparison, and it just works really nicely. Good job. Hello, whoever said, where's my necklaces from? They're from a guy called Goran Kling, a Swedish jewelry maker. We've got Louis with these photos. Unfortunately, they look very small. Nice colours on this one. Like there's good repetition. It's like the composition like feels off-centered but centered at the same time, which is quite cool. And this one also quite nice lighting. It's an interesting selfie because you've got like a double of your shadow. That's cool. They're nice. They'd be a lot nicer if I could see them properly. Coleman Stewart. This is cool. I like that this was taken at like the perfect time, that you've still got like the light just glowing behind the silhouette of the mountain. Like this photo would be infinitely more boring if it didn't have that silhouette outline. Like if it was pure black, it wouldn't work. But that makes it so much cooler. I'd maybe take it like a step further, and I've said this a lot already, but just cloning out that little bit down there, maybe you can't see it. This little bit down here, we'll just make it like that bit cleaner of the contrast of the black. And another thing which has worked really well is that the like backpack and hat and coat are like the perfect color to match the glow of the sky. It's really cool. And then we got this one, the summit, I'm guessing, which is cool. I prefer the other one, but this is nice. Lots of people, things going on. Classic. Marco Randall. This is nice. Very interesting lighting. I feel like this photo would benefit slightly off just changing the levels. Like you just need to slide it so the blacks are more black. Like they've just been pushed slightly too far in the scan or post. But everything else about the photo is really nice. To anyone asking about music, it's something which I'm going to try and fix for the next stream. But I haven't like researched at all what I'm allowed and not allowed to do on here yet. So not this time, I'm afraid. Oh, I just triggered Siri. All right. I just forgot. Okay, no, but don't worry. I'll bring it out soon. Joseph Green is next. This is cool. It feels very very British. Maybe it's not even British, but like this feels like something that I would have walked across infinite times. Oh yeah, sorry. I was gonna say, put on your own like chilled beats to chill out, study, relax to, whatever the playlist you watch. Just put on an instrumental playlist. Set the levels right. Should be fun. This one's cool. Nice light. I love trees like this. They're so interesting. There were none of these around where I grew up. I would almost like to see this more with a less shallow depth of field, just so the trees in the background were also as sharp as this tree in the foreground. I think that'd be nice. Sam Luna. It's cool. Good lighting. Whenever I see, like, this kind of, are they electrical poles? They must be electrical poles and wires. Whenever I see that, I always think it's so cool, because it's, like, it just doesn't really exist in the UK. And then when you see, like, such an extreme example of it like this, it's just so interesting. Like, it's so cluttered, yet looks so cool to me. And I don't know if that's just because it's, like, foreign to me. Yeah, it's cool. Nice lighting. This one, unfortunately, I think is a bit soft and out of focus, but I like what you were aiming for. It's always hard to shoot it at night like that. Okay, Philippe. This is cool. Is there someone in that window? Oh, there is. Alright, Philippe, where are you? Are you in the chat? Is this staged or is this real? Like, did you just, like, walk across this house and there was, like, a kid staring out the window? Because it's pretty magical if you just found it. I mean, it doesn't take anything away from it if it's staged. I'm just wondering. But this is really cool. It's a great balance of lighting as well, because you can see that there's a street light over here, which is just kissing the back of the building. The sky still is bright enough to have detail, but it's dark enough where the foreground like leads you in, and then also dark enough that you can tell like a distinct difference between the window that has a light on and has a light off, which is really cool. Is Philip in the chat to answer this? It was Philip, wasn't it? Or Philippe? I did just run into this scene. Is that you, Philippe? Pogo? Alright, I'm gonna drop something here.
Whoa!
Right?
Whoa! Whoa!
On with the show. Oh, we didn't look at the second one. This is really nice as well. The thing that makes this photo is the little light bulb that's on. Very pleasant. I feel like your greens could be richer. That's the only thing. And you can make them like, particularly in this like right hand side over here, they don't they're not as like rich and deep. But it would be nice if you had like these two contrasting greens from this like blue green and the like grassy green. But good job. Oh, IO Gris still in the chat. Blessing the stream. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Can everyone thank Joe for his presence and ability to send over those very nice videos for me? Next up, we've got Logan Davies. Davis? I think Davis. Something I've noticed so far is like there's been loads of square photos. I think like a lot more than the last time I did this, which is interesting. I haven't shot square for like a year and a half, I think. This is cool though. It does something, I mentioned this in the first stream, but whenever I shoot square, I'm always so, like, I always frame centrally. I can't help but do that. And it kind of makes me feel like I get a bit stumped when I shoot square. Like I don't get as creative with the compositions. And just putting this like on the third is working really well. I really love the trees in the background as well, like these super like clawing trees, which are just really cool. And the depth's really nice as well. Then we got some dude, which is nice. I feel like this, you could crop in and make this just like a bit tighter. There's too much like empty space, which personally I'd rather just see more of the subject. It doesn't really like add anything to the scene necessarily. Yeah. Jack Wire, thank you very much for that £4. That's very kind. What is that animation? A little bit of coffee. Alright. Next up, we've got Devin Saunders. This is pretty cool. Lots of motion, but like really works. It's really nice. It feels fast. Not much I can say. Like I like the grading as well. Like it's crunchy and deep. Then we got this one. Also really nice. It's really cool. Like something which I like struggle with my photos. I like never take photos or let photos leave Lightroom not straight. Like I just can't deal with it in my own photos to have a horizon that's not dead straight. And then I see other people do it, but like use it to an effect. So like in this photo, it being not straight makes it feel even more chaotic. It makes it like it exaggerates the cars being pumped up, and it just makes it feel even more busy, which I think really works. I also think it's really cool that you've got this like hand leading in the foreground. It's really cool. It's a good photo.
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay, we got Rob. This is nice. Anything abandoned always gets bonus points, you know? Anything like left, decaying, abandoned, always gets bonus points. I really like the grass in this as well. Like, it looks so like shaped by the wind. You can see it like, it swoops like in, and then it's almost like a natural S-curve. Like, this grass swerves up and to the right, and then the bush swerves up and to the left. I find that satisfying. And then you got like this other bit up here, which is like everything points into this empty gap. And then we've got this one. This is cool. I'm not normally like a big fan of urbex photos. Like it's just like I guess it's a genre of photography I'm like just not interested in. But occasionally you see it done really nicely, and I think this is actually a really nice photo. Like it's clean, lots of lines, lots of nice light, and it's taken like not necessarily like a typical like abandoned photo. Like it's not like shove it on the widest angle possible and take like a super HDR crunchy clarity photo. Like it's tasteful. Good job. Alright, it seems like we're approaching half an hour of this keyword. So I might have to change it up pretty soon. We've got more in store. We're going to do this for a bit longer. I'm just going to let you know that we're going to change the keyword because there's a chance that some of the people that sent it in and could be next, they could have left the stream and not see their photos being reviewed, and I'd rather give the people who tuned in later a chance to have their photos looked at. So don't worry, if you've sent it in and it hasn't been seen yet, you can still send in more. It's not the end of the world. You just gotta be fast, you know? Alright. So, Sam Walden. Looks like Venice Beach. It's cool. It's nice. Looks like a disposable almost. I like how it's got like this like halo come off the bit of the sky here. It's like fringing red. And it matches like this very golden sun and then the red jumper. It's nice. Isn't it so weird seeing like scenes with loads of people in? Like how close all those people are standing to each other? Like, I just can't remember what it's like being out in like a busy place in public. Alright, next up, I'm afraid I can't pronounce your name. This is cool. It's slightly annoying to have that person in the background. This one, I prefer a lot more. This is really nice. I've never seen like such a brightly coloured like underside of a road bridge. And just like that tower structure looks huge. And what kind of makes the photo is this car parked in like the middle of a field next to this like really amazing tree. I think this photo would like really lend itself to being shot on a bigger format. Like it'd be really cool to see this like sharper, richer. There's like a lot to look at, you know? Alright. I think we're going to switch up the keyword. But we've got some stuff to do. Alright? Okay. So, I need a drink. I've run out of coffee. Gotta go get a new drink. So, I'm going to set a new keyword. And then I've got a special video transmission to play you. And when that's finished, I'll be back. So, if you want to send in a photo, please email up to 2 photos for feedback to nfphotoreview@gmail.com. Photos must be sent as attachments. Don't include anything you're not happy with being included on stream, like your phone number or something like that. And please, no explicit content. The keyword which I'm going to need you to send in to be seen. Actually, wait. Please send in, we'll do the theme. Please send in the best photo you've taken this year, in your opinion. Since it's New Year's Eve, might as well go out with a bang. And we'll stick the subject theme as... Alright, someone send a message in the chat, I'll just pick the next thing that's sent. Everyone stopped typing, or has my chat stopped refreshing? 2020, I think, won. So, subject theme 2020. I'm gonna go run and get a drink. I've got a lovely video transmission to play quickly. Here are the rules quickly again. Please just send up to 2 photos. Make sure you use the subject line, otherwise it won't be seen. And don't send anything bad. Okay? All right, see you briefly.
Hello, George's live stream. It's your boy, Connor Franta, coming at you live from Los Angeles. My New Year's resolution is to be more vocal with strangers, more kind to strangers, to interact with strangers more. I wanted to do that this year, but of course, because of the COVID of it all, it didn't really happen. It wasn't necessarily safe, but this coming year, I want to wave at people more. I want to be that guy that runs by you in the morning and says, "Hi, good morning." You know, just the little things. People don't do that as much in Los Angeles where I live, and I want to be that person. I want to compliment a stranger in public. I want to say hi to my neighbor on the sidewalk. I don't know. It's something I want to do. I'm going to try my best to do it every single day, a few times a day, and I'm looking forward to it.
My New Year's resolution for 2021 is pretty simple, and that's just to slow down and focus more on quality over quantity, and that's pretty much across everything, especially photography and my YouTube channel. I've tried to keep my foot on the gas for years, and I'm thankful in a lot of ways for what that has given me, but at the same time, I've taken some much needed time to just kind of unplug and really just take a step back over the last few weeks, and I've really been able to reevaluate a lot of things and just prioritize things differently, and I feel much better creatively just from that than I have in probably a few years now. So I really want to focus on making more unique and creative YouTube videos that feel more like me and less just sort of following a template of YouTube, and as well as photography as well. Just I feel like I'm kind of hitting the reset button and starting all over after 16 years. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to kind of have a different perspective, and I don't think I would have had that if I didn't take some much needed time off to just sort of take a step back from everything. So, and actually one other New Year's resolution that I have that I guess I can just kind of add to that. My goal is to sort of become like a replacement for George on negative feedback. I feel like I can. So today we're going to be talking about the Leica M6, which is a 35mm camera, and I quite like it actually.
What's your New Year's resolution?
Getting hench.
Hello, Happy New Year. Well, not yet. We've got about 8 hours left of 2020. Mental year. It's been crazy. I'm surprised we got through it. George has asked me to share some of my New Year's resolutions. I do them every year actually. 5 years ago I gave up meat, my longest going New Year's resolution. But this year I've got some different ones and I'm sharing them here, I guess. On photography side of things, I'm taking 2 months off booze. I'm taking 2 months off bread. A bit of an odd one is I'm learning to drive. Now this doesn't seem like that important to photography at first, but actually I think it's probably one of the best things you can do as a photographer, right? Because I can't drive currently, legally, and by getting my driving license, you know, I can just get in my car and go anywhere and make work, and not even just for commercial work, but for your personal projects. The places you can get in a car are places you just simply can't get with public transport, you know. So learn to drive is going to be a big one for me. Wish me luck. I've got my theory test booked for a few weeks. Good luck with the new year, and goodbye. I got a haircut especially for this video. Bye, Happy New Year.
I think 2020 has taught me that I can survive without caring so much about all the bullshit I have in previous years. And so I think in 2021, my resolution is to refine and to really consider deeply what it is I need in life. And that is probably spending less time focusing on all the rubbish that people expect of me and more time doing things that I really value. Because now we all know the world can really end at any moment. Yeah, that's my New Year's resolution.
Hopefully this is working right. All right. So, New Year's what the frick what was the question, George? My New Year's resolution for 2021 is pretty simple, and it's to make more photographs than what I did in 2020, to continue to be teachable, to learn, to grow as a human, as a husband, and as an artist. If I can accomplish those things heading into the new year, I think I'd be pretty happy.
Hey, it's Will Derbyshire here, and you might know me from the Will Derbyshire YouTube channel. I also take pictures and do other things too. My New Year's resolution is to hit the gym and get those gains so I can tear up the climbing wall when it opens up again. Back to you, George, in the studio.
Hello everyone, I'm back. Hope you all enjoyed that little intermission. Something just to spice up the stream a little bit, you know? I had this like last week. I've been going or starting to go out on some walks without any music in. Normally, when I'd go out, I'd like put a podcast on or listen to music. And I've been going out and walking for like half an hour to 45 minutes with no music, no podcast, nothing, no headphones, just like listening to whatever's going on. And it's been really helpful for like thinking of ideas. And one of the ideas I had was that I wanted to make these live streams regular, firstly. And then secondly, I wanted to try and make them like the equivalent of a really bad late night talk show. Like, I only thought of it yesterday, so I haven't had time to prepare for this one properly. But I really wanted to have a musical guest. I thought it'd be really funny to have someone come on and play a song. I was hoping to have my friend make a remix of Auld Lang Syne for the special New Year's edition. But I think like 12 hours was not quite enough time to do this. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm telling you. I just thought that was cool, hopefully. I guess I should get back to looking at some videos. So, what did I say? Was it 2020? Is that the theme? George, can you choose my next tattoo? Yes, Joe, I can. I can do a really bad one if you want. What brand undershirts do you wear? This one's from Uniqlo. Still think you should have got Flo Rida as the musical guest, but next year, make that your New Year's resolution. Well, you're not wrong, Matt. Cheers, everyone. We've gone for a beer. We're getting loose this New Year's Eve. Alright. Compose myself. Gotta be serious here. The worst thing is I took that like long intermission break. That's the only intermission break I've got planned. And I used it to make a drink. Or well, in this case, go and get a beer. And then I came back and had like 4 minutes left of the intermission, which I sat here in silence. And then realised I really need the toilet. So now I'm stuck here with no more intermission to play. But it's fine. For anyone wondering, I'm drinking this pink can. It's on brand today. It's called Something Good 7 by Daya, which is a UK brewery. It's just an IPA. Cool. What microphone do you use? This is the Rode. I think it's called Broadcaster. I think. It's good. Slam the beer and pee in the empty cup. Alright, let's get into the photos instead. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, I've just realized something. Because I chose the subject theme to be 2020, when I now search in the search bar 2020, it just shows me any email sent in 2020. It doesn't actually like really filter anything, which is not ideal. Is anyone a wizard? Oh wait, no, I know how to do it. You put it in quotation marks, right? I'm a genius. Oh, it didn't work. Subject filter includes the words 2020. Oh, here we go. Subject 2020. All right, we got it. Oh wow, a lot of people sent in. We've got 300 people, which unfortunately I'm just not going to be able to do. I'm afraid. I'm probably going to end this. Not now, but not in 300 emails time. The first one, we've got Jonathan Sailu. Alright, I've got a complaint off the bat, I'm afraid. You got too much dust on your scan. It's just a pet peeve of mine. Maybe it's part of your aesthetic, maybe it's not. But right now, you're on my show, and I don't like it, I'm afraid. But, photo, like, aside from the dust, the photo, yeah, it's nice. It's like slightly soft, and the colour's like a slightly shifted, but I'm guessing since you use like a purple light, that's like the vibe you were going for, and if that's what you like, cool. I think you could have maybe positioned your subject slightly differently. The only thing which is like a bit jarring to me is I feel like either you want to go for the full shadow split across the face and have like it fully like this, but because the shadow tapers off here and goes across, it's just a bit distracting. So I think it'd be really cool if you could like position their face a bit differently in the light so that the light all hits here and gets cut off, and then it's all dark on this side. But the way it's like across here, it's just a bit distracting, and I'm not sure it like lends the most flattering lighting to their face. This is cool. Same problem with dust, but it's fine. That's cool. I like their haircut. I feel like it's what you've gone for is this like not symmetrical composition, but I feel like you could just lose a tiny bit of the right hand side. It could come in maybe like up to this, you probably can't see it, up to this bit, like you could crop down to there and it would just start a bit cleaner and this side a bit higher up. It's cool. Okay, Alex Green. This is cool. I'm sure they exist in the UK, but I feel like these kind of shutters are so rare to see here, and they just produce like such an intense like form of light. Like the shadows through them is so like busy, that it comes out looking really cool. You probably could have done with a tiny bit more foreground light compared to the background. It's like some of the background's already blowing out, but you don't quite have loads of detail on the subject. So maybe you could have just pushed it even further. Like you can't really make out what's on the table. But it's cool. This one's really nice. I feel like if you took the slightest step to your left, the subject's head would like have remained in that like in the portion between the windows. If their head was like perfectly in there, it would just be like slightly cleaner. But I like the way you've used the foreground and the table to add like this different dimension. It works really well. People saying Vu vibes, which I'd agree with. Cool stuff. Now we've got Joel Goldstein. This is nice. Sorry, I was a bit thirsty. Cool house. Like, it's just an interesting structure. And then, like, such a nice contrast between this really barren, like, white and dead green rocky stuff and, like, this weirdly, like, moss-looking yellow bush. It makes for something really nice. It looks like Dungeness. Might be wrong. It's cool. It's nice. There's not really much to add. Like, it's cool. The only thing which initially jumps out to me is there's this gutter pipe on this window over here, which you might not be able to see properly on stream. But I feel like if you just cropped in a bit from the right and you didn't have that line, just because the line's like right by the edge of the frame and it is in line with it, it just like, I can't help but look at it a little bit. But so I'd maybe just like crop in the tiniest bit so that it starts in the window. It's a minor thing. What's the chat saying? What are you all up to? It is Dungeness. I'm a geographer. Why is everyone laughing at Vincent? What's he done? Where did he say something? What did I miss? Oh, it's too far up, I can't see it. I submitted with 2020 stream. Will this also be seen? I believe it should be, but there's so many submissions that I can't guarantee that it will be anyway. So, all right, there's one more photo. This tasteful. This is like a classic, you know. Everyone's taken a photo like this, and if you haven't, you're not allowed to be here. I don't really have much to add. Like, it's good. It's a nice take on it. It's like it's higher up than some photos of this are, I feel like, and the leaves really make it. I just wanted to ask quickly, is everyone having a nice time? I feel like this stream upped the game a little bit, you know? It's gone a little bit better. I haven't yet tried to explain to you why I like a photo without having the photo on screen. That's a bonus. It's a nice start. You know, we stay winning. Baby steps. I got myself one of these Elgato things, Stream Deck. I press all these buttons. It does things. It's pretty cool. It's probably like one of the best things I've spent money on recently. Because apparently you can set this to have like loads of functions and shortcuts for like editing programs. Like you can have it run scripts in Premiere or Photoshop and stuff like that, which sounds really helpful. And also I can click on it and it does things like this.
Was this shot on film?
Pretty cool. Did everyone like that button? I think that was a good button. Alright, I should probably start looking at more photos again. But let me just tell you one problem. Let me vent to something which isn't quite working with this setup, right? You can see through the camera, like over here, you can see a repeat of me, right? And I don't know if I can be bothered to show you properly, but basically on this monitor, it's split into two windows. I've got the actual like stream window, which is OBS, if anyone knows the software. That's up there, so I can just like make sure it's all working. And then next to it, I've got the YouTube studio where I can see the chat and how many people are watching, which is quite cool. But then over here, directly in front of me, is where I'm looking at the photos. And because I'm looking at the photos here, and like the chat's out of my peripheral vision, like I can't even see it. So, don't know why I'm telling you this, I just am. I need to find a new place to put the chat. Or I need to put the camera like in the middle, so I can see everything at once. It's not like you guys can help anyway, so let's just look at more photos. Okay, we got Nick Calhoun. More trucks. It's nice. I feel like there's just a bit too much foreground, which is the theme of the last stream. But I think you could take this photo up to, you see like where the bottom of this, the middle of the dirt road, if you took the photo up so that the bottom right corner was in line with where that started, you'd have a really nice leading line from the corner of the photo, and you'd lose some of this like out of focus bush. Because it's like, it's not really adding anything. All of the interest is up here, and I don't really get much from down here, and you'd still have that nice leading line. Then, nice cat. I'm not the biggest cat fan, but I'll try not to be biased. It's a very nice photo. It's sharp, it's soft, and I would probably stroke the cat. Lewis, up next. This is nice. You've got a very good like contrasting background sheet here. Like it works really well having such a distinct difference between the two colors. Other than that, there's not a bunch to add. Like there's nothing wrong with it, you know. This one's really nice. I feel like the only thing you maybe could do is like, if you wanted to go a bit extra, maybe having a reflector as not a reflector, as like just the black poly. If you had that next to the subject's face, just so that this side was even darker, it might just like bring a bit more depth to their face, which could be nice. But like, again, like there's nothing wrong with it, and it's easy, you know. You've done it already. Good, sharp. You can't complain. I like the cape she's wearing. It's not a cape, but you did good. Don't worry. Nils from Bern, Switzerland. Nice golden light. For this one, I would I'd crop out a bit of the bottom. There's, oh, how am I going to show it? This like white hut or sign or whatever this thing is down here is a bit distracting from like the darker foreground. So I'd probably just like bring it up a bit, and then you'd have what feels like a more airy photo as well, because there'd be more sky and ratio to the foreground, and it would just be nice. I mean, that's pretty epic. I want to be there. Is that a cloud inversion? I mean, I'm jealous. I feel like it's down to like taste, but I would have liked to seen a side-by-side photo of this where you've got like this version and then a version where you've exposed for the shadows, because this works really well. There's nothing wrong with this at all, but I would be interested to see what it would look like, since the sky's already like pretty much all white, if you went for a shadow metered instead, just to see like the more details in the trees. But at the same time, like this works. It's great.
Whoa! Whoa!
It gets the IO approval. This is in Bern, Switzerland, apparently. Well, that might not be in Bern, but the guy's from Bern, so Switzerland supposedly. Okay, Jordan.
Was this shot on film? Was this shot on film?
It's cool though, but I don't care. I don't know what it is. It's like just a structure. I'm kind of into it though, in a weird way. Like, I know that you've obviously done it on purpose to have the rest of the studio in shot. But and like that kind of works, but like at the same time, I'm only really here for the shapey thing, you know? I don't know what it is, but I don't dislike it. I just, like, this photo causes questions more than satisfaction. That's the only problem. Like, I'm just like, I feel like it needs more with it. Like, it needs, like, accompanying photos for me to be like, oh, I get it. One sec, everyone. I just got... Was everyone here when I said that I was trying to get musical performances? I've just had a message off the said musical performer. I'm just seeing whether it's possible. Alright, I've got another message just rolled in from Matt Day saying he's submitted photos. So I'm gonna request in the chat right now, do we skip to Matt Day and come back to where we were? Or do we just do the next person? I'll leave it up to you guys. It's not Flowrider. And it's not Soldier Boy, but I really wish it was either of them. Not to undermine the person who it actually is, but are these no's for skipping for Matt Day, or are they no's for... I don't know, I can't remember what I said. Make him wait, okay. Okay, we got Jack Barton. I'm not 100% sure what this is. It could be a bin. It could be a wheel of cheese. It could be a broken bongo drum. I'm led to believe that because of this pattern in the background, it looks a bit like a cobblestone. Maybe it's a bin. It's like the lid of a bin, and then this is the bin bag, and it's all broken and interesting. I just feel like I need some context with this one. Now, if I've never seen such metaphors in art. Thank you, Simon, for this one. Now we're going on to Haroon. This one's interesting. I just feel like this one's like a bit empty. There's not like a bunch of interest. But this one is very pleasing. It's got a very like dream-like aspect to it. Like the colours are so like autumnal yet pastel and bright, and like it's like just slightly hazy enough. And it's all very pleasing. Someone said that it was explicit. It's a good answer. Jacob Shavzin. So with this one, I just feel like you haven't quite got the composition right. So there's like a lot of sky going on. And this is something which I said it in the last stream. I'll say it again. I think it's mainly when you're newer to photography, but it happens to everyone. When you're focusing with a camera, whether it's an SLR or a rangefinder, normally you've got a patch in the middle of the camera, which aids you with the focus. So when you're taking a portrait of someone, you normally have that center patch on their face so that you can make sure their face is in focus. And then what can happen sometimes is you get it focused and you just snap the photo without recomposing. And I think this one would have benefited from, once you focused, just pulled it down a bit. Like, this person's face could be up here. Like, there's so much of the frame which is empty, and I think it'd be a nicer photo if that wasn't the case. So this bit here could be up here, if you can see my mouse. And then we've got a similar thing here. Like, this would just be a better photo, in my opinion, if the subject filled the frame a bit more. However, this photo does have more going on with the colors. There's some things I really like. In like the greens, there's a lot of consistency between this sign, tree branches, awning, bush, dress, beads, bag, bow, and there's like the red skin tones are very similar to this pavement and over here. Like, it's got some aspects of being a good photo, but I feel like it would just be significantly better if there was more. Okay, we got Noel, or Noel, I'm unsure. This is cool. Looks like someone's filming like a piano live set. It's nice. I feel like it doesn't need to be shallow, this photo. Like, if I was taking this photo again, if I was you taking this photo again, I would have stuck it on a tripod and just taken it at like f16 instead. Because although like the phone on the tripod is interesting, since it's out of focus, I feel like it's more distracting. That if you manage to get like everything sharp, I just think it'd have more going on. But it's cool. I mean, like, you filled the frame well. Like, there's a lot going on in like most aspects of the photo. And this is interesting. I feel like this, you could get even closer. You could just bring this in from the top, just lose like some of this, have the subject fill the frame more, and it would just be more so about the shapes and the colors. It is really nice, however, this like very blue top of sky to the pink. So like, I'd include a bit of the blue at the top, but I just think the person could fill the frame a bit more. But it's cool. Okay, we got Alexander Lin. This is cool. I'm sure if you put this on Instagram back in the day, it would have slapped, you know? And I feel like this is the kind of photo which, like, I had a period for a long time where it's like a lot of like film photography can sometimes be, or it's like all of photography, particularly like photo books. Photo books are made for photographers. Like, the main demographic of people who buy photo books are other photographers. And I had like this moment of realization once when I was making a project that too many of the photos in this are maybe interesting for photographers, but ugly to normal people. And sometimes it's just like nice to make some photos which appeal to anyone. Like, at that point, I then went off and took some photos which I thought could go on anybody's wall and not look out of place. Like, just try and make some things which are like, anyone could look at it and be like, oh yeah, I get it. Like, that looks nice. And I think this photo, like, it kind of does both. Like, it's not a beautiful object, but there's like enough going on where it's kind of like, oh cool, like I could see that on my parents' wall, you know? It's not obtrusive at all. It's cool. That's fun. Second photo we've had from Venice Beach in this stream. The dog makes it. We're all here for the woofer. I feel like this one you could lose some of the sky. It could just come down a bit. It's nice. It's good colours. You took it at the right time. I just realised I reviewed 3 photos. I broke the rules. I'm sorry, everyone. Alright, I'm going to close my window quickly. It's getting a bit cold. Nice tones, but were these shot on film?
Was this shot on film?
Who knows? I don't know what I'm looking at. There's too many things. Chang. It's the... Hey, I have that chair. Cool. It is a good chair. Film isn't a rule. Don't worry, anyone. Anyone is allowed to submit photos. Me, personally, don't care. Guitar reveal. You don't want the guitar reveal. It's actually really cheap and not great. It just looks like a Telecaster. Well, I mean, it is a Telecaster, but it's not. It's the Squire, you know? Budget boys. You can send in digital, I don't care. But, wait. They didn't send because inbox is full. How many emails do I have? Please, a new keyword. Hey, when I bought the guitar, I watched a lot of videos that were like comparing the cheap one to the expensive ones, and I couldn't tell the difference. So I don't care. My first guitar I ever had, I think I was like 15. I bought it off Amazon, and it was the cheapest one on Amazon, and just like whatever came up when I typed in acoustic guitar. And this is significantly an upgrade to that, so. George plays Xbox. I actually don't. This is an Xbox 360 controller, which I used to play Rocket League on the PC. Alright, I guess I need to keep looking through these photos. I've realised that there's a slight problem where I feel like I've got so many to do. Like, sometimes I just want to chill. I just want to chat, you know? I want to hang out. But I've got so many photos to look at. But I think the thing I'm going to have to come to terms with is that I'm never going to get through all of them. There's too many of you here. Maybe. Alright. Let me propose to you guys something, right? An idea I had. I will give the chat the power to decide on this, right? Initially when this whole concept, this whole thing, I stole it, right? I stole this idea of rating things on stream from, I actually stole it from another YouTuber called Mai, who makes beat making YouTube videos. He makes like hip hop instrumentals on YouTube, and he does streams where he listens to viewers' beats and like compliments them or says they're rubbish. And he has an aspect to his stream where you can donate like $5, I think it is, to skip the queue. You can have this like, it's like a nice little revenue stream, you know, a little bit of help for all this hard work that goes into the stream. I thought maybe I could do that. But at the same time, I was like, hey, I don't know if that's cool or not. So I'm just putting it out there. How would you guys feel if I had that option? Because it would be nice to earn some money. I can't lie. But I'm still going to do them all for free, so it's fine. I can't get through everyone. And then I thought the other thing I could do is like have an option to donate where I look through like a whole website, or you know, like you could have like a PDF or something else. Like it could unlock other tiers. So like if we look at the normal rules, you can only have 2 photos. And then I was like, well, maybe you could have 1 million photos if you pay me enough. Capitalism. Hey, look, at the end of the day, I anticipate if I did this, not enough people would donate that the queue would become only people that pay. You know, it's just like, it's an added bonus. I'm still going to do most of the stream for free. So next stream, I'm just telling you, all right? I still support people that don't. But during this conversation, we've got 2 messages. Oh no, they're coming in. We've got Shot by Shingi. Is that correct? Sorry if it's not. Donating to see critique Joe's submission. All right, let's search it. I'll search it. Thank you for your donation. It's very kind. What email has he sent it under? I've got it. Alright. First up, we got I agree. Right. You can't tell me this photo isn't like staple IO Greer. You know? The color grading on this screams IO Greer. Doesn't it? He's just like, he's got his own color palette. No one quite knows how he does it. I think what's really interesting is like how the cars are lit. Like that second car there almost doesn't look real, like the way it's lit. It's so surreal. It's really cool. It's nice. It's great lighting. I enjoy this photo. There's not much wrong with it. I'd maybe crop in like the tiniest bit, just so that this lamppost wasn't in and it started with a clean gap before this one, but then it's also at an angle so that it might not work. And then also you could just come into this little bit here, wasn't on show. It should be like a slightly crisper, like black corner of the frame. Might be slightly nicer. That's what I would do if it was my photo. I'll probably also come in just so like this started clean blue down the edge. But like that's what makes it my photo and not Joe's photo at the end of the day, you know?
Whoa! Heater! Whoa!
And then we got this one, which is pretty snazzy. Again, IO color palette. I think like this is one of my more favorite recent IO picks that he's shared. I think the one thing which I would like to see in this photo is the selective color on the greens. I'd just like to see, like, they're very, I don't know what even, they're like, I want to see more warmth in the greens and them just to be like slightly richer. If I was to do a selective color, hey, I don't think Joe will care. Let me just show you. Maybe this would be fun. Can I show you what I would do? Maybe this would take it to the next level. I just realized my photo's going to open and there might be some things I can't show you in it. I saved the day. What size is it going to be? Does IO mind if I do this? Oh, also, thanks everyone for donating. There's lots of you. I swear to God, man, if you touch my greens, well, I'm gonna do it. And you can't stop me. I would change something very minor. You know, I'd just slap that selective color down there. We'll go to the greens. Black, just take it down a bit, you know? You see, like, they're like this in my eyes. I know they're not because I've just exaggerated it, but they're like super bright greens. But then, if we take them down, downtown greens, and we just add a bit of yellow to them, change the magenta a bit so they're a bit darker. Then, you know, it's just like such a small like thing, and maybe change yellows and reds a bit as well, just so like I feel like this would just pop like slightly more. Like it doesn't change it much, it just feels a bit richer, in my opinion. Right? Let me show you the before and after. Small difference, but that's what I would do if it was my photo, and it's not. It's Big I.O. Greer's photo, and he can do whatever he wants. And I.O. Greer is infinitely more Instagram famous than me, so I'm probably wrong.
Whoa! Heater! Whoa!
Sorry, Jay. I really like that photo, though. It is one of my favorites that you have posted in of recent time. Let me try and look through anyone that's done the thingies. I don't know how YouTube stream works properly, so I'm just going to scroll up. Jack Wire said, let's skip the queue. Let's see if he's sent anything. Alright. We've got a, can we get an IOE in the chat from Jack Wire? This is cool. It's nice, like it's such like a dappled light that it almost looks like a spotlight. Like they're lit so like perfectly in this like spotlight. It's nice, not much to add. I'd maybe come in the tiniest bit from the top, just so that this branch that grows out here just ends in the corner. I think that'd just be like slightly cleaner. But it's cool. I'd maybe also like it like slightly darker. Like the skin is just like edging just slightly too bright for my preference, but it's all good. Alright. Next, Vincent Perry Jr. Just here for the vibes. Thanks for being here. Carson, just an empty message. Thank you very much for the $5. Terrence saying do it. Maybe I will. And then Prashant, no skipping please. It'd be great to have some paid feedback and mentorship via something like Superpeer. I'll look into it. Like nothing's decided. Eddie the Chump, roast me for $5. Eddie, I mean, I can't roast you because I can't find your email from just searching Eddie, unfortunately, but we'll see. Declan A has also donated and just typed in Declan. I found him. Lovely nighttime shot. I think something I would do with this photo is there's like this tiny bit of car on the right. If you just cropped in the smallest bit, I think that would be just like slightly less distracting. And the other thing I would do is just like a slight levels adjustment. Like you can see in this area of the tree, there's actually no detail there, but because the scan's been pushed a bit too far, it's gone a bit purpley. So if you just take a level slider and slide it so it gets a bit darker, so the blacks are a bit higher, in my opinion it just looks a bit cleaner, but it's cool. And then similar but different, quite different lighting from like the street lamp. I think maybe this one would be slightly better if it was taken slightly later at night. Just because I think the balance of the sky is like just slightly too bright, that it's actually made the foreground blow out a little bit. But it's cool. I also think you have too much of the road. If you took this photo from a higher angle, you'd compress the foreground a bit more and there'd be less of it, and I think that would just be slightly more interesting. Like I think the tree, I'd rather trade tree for tarmac, if that makes sense. Whoa, is this aerochrome or Lomo purple? Either way, it's cool. I've never shot a film like this. Maybe would you guys be interested in a video where I shoot this kind of film? Let me know. And then this one. This is a cool color palette. Those that like taupe color. It's nice. I also like the greens. Like there's a lot of nice colors going on here. Like that green is like such an interesting green, and the way it merges into the grass. I like that one. We got William Pichardo saying, "Thank you for being Georgie boy." Well, thank you for being William. Diego with the $10 saying, "The secret to get the Io Greer look is an M6 and a beanie." I think you're underestimating him. There's a lot to it. I Showcase 1. Happy New Year's Eve, George, and stream. Sent a super personal photo of my dog the day we put him down. Submitted under Diego. Okay, let's take a look at this. I'm sorry for your loss, Diego. Oh, this is a sad photo. It's such a nice nestle, you know. I don't feel we're in the right place to make a comment on this photo because it's such a moment. The only thing I'll say is you could crop in slightly from the top left just to make it a little bit more central. It's a very sweet photo. Jim Jam has said poopy fart. Thank you for the £2. Oh, there's so many. Oh goodness. All right, please, can everyone stop donating? Because if you've donated in the hopes that I'm going to look at your photo, I need you to all slow down, I'm afraid. I think I'm missing a lot of beef with Joe. I'm just scrolling past it. I'm sorry. It's all going on. Andrew has donated to have a look at some of his photos. Let's take a look. That's cool. Oh, I just spat some beer out. The thing that sticks out to me about this is I'm guessing it's not a vignette and it's the way you've lit it, but this like harsh fall off on the top left. If it was my photo, I'd probably just clone that out so it was solid white. And then there's also this bit in the bottom right, which is like just like a tiny bit, which is slightly distracting from like just being a clean edge. Like I feel like if you're gonna do like a vignette, like this top left corner, you go all out and you use it to really accentuate people's eyes into the center of the frame, which would work with this, but I feel like you either, to make it a better photo, in my opinion, you'd either lose that and go like the whole way around. No, you'd either lose it or go the whole way around. But other than that, like it's a cool photo. That neck tattoo must have been done on like the day it was taken. Like that looks so fresh and dark. The other thing, maybe, I can't quite tell through like a compressed emailed version, but it looks like the focus is maybe on the guy's eye, where I maybe would have placed it on the girl's eye here, just because they're directing their attention to the camera, and it just feels like maybe that would sit slightly nicer, but it's a cool photo. Huh. Is this a photo from a still image from my latest video? This is cool. I've never actually done a shoot with mirrors. It's interesting. It's really good subframing. And nice colours. I feel like the only thing like that maybe could have been changed, like not being there, I'm not sure, but because you've got, let's call them subject A holding the mirror in the sun, like facing, the sun's like coming in on them, it means that the person in the mirror, subject B, is backlit. And maybe if the whole scene turned 90 degrees around, you'd have both of them lit by the sun evenly, and that might just make for slightly more flattering light, but it's cool. It's interesting. Alright. Legend, R2 June 2, a legend on cam and another in chat. Thank you very much. Everyone is commenting that Grainy Days is here. Hello, Grainy Days. Oh, I've broken my Chrome. Dorian wants the little skip. This is cool. So autumnal.
Was this shot on film?
Don't get that. I think it was film, but I would struggle to believe that like either this is like an otherworldly scene. And there's a bit of tinkering at play. But do I care? No, I don't. It's really cool. It's a nice photo. It's just appealing to look at, you know? It's got the classic S-curve. I would maybe Photoshop the car out. That's the only thing I'd say. Like, it's just like that one small detail. I think it'd be slightly cleaner if it wasn't there. But it's also kind of nice to show perspective of like how small that car looks in comparison to like nature. It's a nice photo. Wow, more curvy roads. It's really cool. This is a famous road, isn't it? I've seen this one before. It looks like a Gursky photo. I don't have much to add to this one. This one's really nice. Actually, I think you could slightly rotate it. Like, just like by a degree that way, it would look slightly better. But this is a really cool photo. Alright, we got Jin Ho Kang saying, "Do it." Shot by Shingi. Protect Vincent Perry at all costs. King Yusi. Let's put in their email. Alright guys, please don't send any more things because I'm... I need to end this thing at some point. Yusuf, I'm struggling to find your email. Let me just... I'm going to look a bit harder, but... I can't... I've typed in Yusuf and I can't find it. That sucks. Can King UC drop a message? Carl. Alright, Carl.
Was this shot on film?
Looks a bit too clean, you know? That's cool. It's very saturated and nice. The only thing, like, I feel like whilst I'm looking at this photo, like, I can just feel myself going, like... I can't tell if it's just, like, slightly too far off axis, that, like, I just like a tiny bit. But the colours really pop in this. It's cool. That is one hell of a facial expression. This one's good. I like this one more. It's also interesting, like, how the face is, like, perfectly captured in that visor. It's really cool. The photos have, like, such a bright vibrancy to them. Like, they're really saturated without feeling like they're too saturated, which is really nice. Alright. We got Milo has also donated. Milo Todd. This is cool. So, one thing I'd change is the horizon isn't quite straight. So I would just crop it and have like a ruler guide along the sea just to make that like perfectly straight. And if you fix that, like there's not much else I would change for this. It's clean, it's nice. It's taking it, good lighting, good timing with the bird. Not much else to add. Vagabond? I'm guessing. I think if I was taking this photo, I would have taken one step to the left, which would have, I don't know how to show you, like this area here would have been filled more with the text, and this area here would have been like less close. It just would have like given more symmetry of the text to the space if you just took one step to the left. Austin Banks, thank you for your donation and removing your message. Alright, Joshua Gorello. Just want to let everyone know that I'm probably going to end the stream within the next like half an hour. Because I will need to eat some food at some point. Joshua Gorello. This is cool. Is that a leaf? Or is that a blimp? I want comments in the chat. Is that a leaf or a blimp? Either way, it's cool. There's a lot going on. I would maybe crop in just a tiny bit so this tree trunk doesn't start in the frame. But it's really nice. It's nice lighting. I like the detail of the new homes person. Whoa. Was this one of those days in California where it was like red everywhere? Super interesting. I really like the birds that are filling like the top of the frame. So much going on. It just looks very surreal. And like, what's cool is like the contrast of the gas station lighting is like equally bright to the weird doomsday lighting, that it works really well. Jim Jam says, people who will pay £10 for a roll of film will probably pay £5 to skip their photos. Secure the bag, bro. Thanks, Jim Jam. Alright. So we've got a self-portrait from New Media Boy, which he took on Dora Goodman's camera. Dora Goodman's Zone camera, which he built this year. It's very nice. It's clean. The colours in this work really well. Like the colours between like the deeper parts of the background and your lips like really complement each other nicely. It's like a nice sunset, but not a sunset. I really like it. I also think, I don't know whether it's a birthmark or a bruise on the eye. Looks really cool. It's a good photo. I have to check out the camera. Sounds fun building a camera. Lil Salad Bar with the $5. Thank you. Austin Banks. Let's get you in. This is pretty cool. This is great use of subframing. Works really well. Like there's not much to add to this. I feel like I'm in two minds whether I would like to see their feet. Like if the photo was taken just from like the tiniest bit higher angle, seeing their feet might be nice, but it's super cool. Like it's really well framed. Maybe I'd like to see like either a bounce or a fill flash just to make this person slightly brighter. Just because like the background is maybe just slightly brighter than them, but like at the same time, works really well. It's really cool. This is really cool as well. I feel like this one, I would have taken one step to the left, and then this tree trunk would have been like directly in the middle of the frame, which might have been just like slightly nicer. And there is the same problem where it's like it's maybe slightly too dark for my taste, where it's just like a little bit of reflector bounce could have just like helped a tiny bit, but at the same time it doesn't need it. Like it's great without it. Whoa. How does this even work? I'm guessing that's a second person and it's through their glasses frame, like, and it's just because it's out of focus? Or is this like a multiple exposure? I don't know what's going on.
Whoa!
It's great. It's really nice. Alright, up next we got Jelani Todd. That's cool. Also pretty cool.
Whoa! Heater.
That one's great. More like biblical lighting. Also very cool. I really like the pose of the hand. Like it's captured at the perfect time. This one, I feel like you could just come in closer from the top right. Just fill the frame a bit more. the rest are .txts. They're really cool though. This one, real standout. This one's great. So, Caitlin, I'm afraid, well, firstly, thank you for your donation, but I'm afraid I don't think I'm allowed to show nudity on the stream. I don't know how it works with the YouTube policies and stuff. But, like, I now feel bad. So, if anyone wants to go look at their photos, it's instagram.com. Let me just type it in the chat. I feel like this is the least I could do. I feel bad because I just don't want my channel to get striked or anything. I'll research the rules for next time a bit more thoroughly. Yeah, just Eli also donated. Thank you. I'm behind. Emmanuel Morales. This is cool. Have you got like water droplet mist on your lens? Like there's a bit out of focus here which shouldn't be out of focus. This is cool. I really like the leading lines of, I'm guessing, cars on the sand. It's cool. Wow, Rey Mysterio face mask. It's pretty cool. I think this would be even nicer if you just had the subject look down the tiniest bit. Just so you got like the tiniest bit more of the upper side of their face. It'd be even nicer. But it's a cool photo. Thank you. Alright. I have to admit, I feel like I'm out of touch with the chat now, because I'm dealing with all of this. We've got Carl Tran. This is cool. I've got like a bit of a pet peeve of photos which feel like they're like party photos. But this one's like confusing in a nice way. Like it stopped me for a second to like look at it and be like, what's going on here? I think that's always a really good thing. I really like how saturated it is as well. Like it feels nice and rich and full. Dorian has sent 5 CHF. I'm not sure what currency that is, but I'm afraid I'm not going to do an Instagram review. If you've submitted some photos, I'm happy to look at them, but I think that's too much to review. Sean Moore. That's pretty cool. It's great, like, window framing. Like, it's a really nice backdrop. And I think you've, like, composed it really well where there's so much space without the subject, yet because the background is interesting, it works really well. And the color palette is really nice. This one's cool. I feel like this would be nicer if the light source was just, like, a bit more round. So the light just hit the face a bit more evenly. Like the eye is just disappearing slightly here. I always like a slow shutter drag. Always looks cool. I think this photo would be like nicer if it was a bit warmer. It's just a bit too cold. I feel like this one you could come in from the top left a bit. Just like fill the frame a bit more. Like it's interesting having the phone screen recording, but all of the emotion in this photo for me is in this area of the person talking. Lewis Kennedy, thanks for the donation, but I can't find your email. Alright. R2Duntu, what about getting a tattoo with Joe? Well, back in whenever it was, when me and Joe met Matt Day for the first time in real life, I was trying to get a tattoo that day. We were all going to get tattoos of our bowling score that we got the night before. As like a reminder of the trip. But there was a heavy snowfall overnight predicted, which would have stopped someone getting their flight home. So we decided we were going to do like a 12-hour drive straight back to the airport so they could get home safely. So that never happened, but I wouldn't be against it, you know? Jake White, thanks to your channel and for existing. Thanks, Jake. That's very kind. And here is his photos. It's cool. It's very blue. That's like the first thing which stands out, but like in terms of composition, it's good. There's a lot of like interest in the subjects, but I think just like the one thing that stands out, I mean, I am just like a bit of a sucker for warmth in photos. Like I just do like warm photos, but I think this is cooler than it needs to be. Like the whites of their shirts aren't white. They're a bit blue. If that's your look and that's what you really like, hey, go for it. You see, this one has the blue, but in a way where it still feels like white would be white. You know, this feels like blue and misty. This one's really cool. I really like this. Is he like crawfish fishing? Something like that? Some sort of shellfish. This is a really nice photo. It's really cool. Something that would be interesting is like if you took this at like a higher angle, would you have been able to get his face in that little pond? Could have actually been really distracting. I'm not sure, but that could have looked really cool. Massier, I think is the name. Massier Mastelares. I'm afraid I can't find your email. Anyway, oh no. I thought I was up to pace, but I'm not quite. Jamie. Hope you're staying healthy, George. Peace. Thanks, Jamie. Hope you're staying healthy too. Hope you're having a nice time in, was it New Jersey or New York? Wherever you are. Hope everyone's also still having fun. I feel like it's getting a bit too hectic, having to search for all these things. Marco Rosa, I also can't find your email, but thank you for the donation. Sean Valesco Dodge said, check mine out. They're 2020 themed. Alright, let's see what 2020 is themed like. I guess this could be what 2020 feels like, looking onwards to red apocalypse. It's nice. I feel like if you were, what could be interesting, it might not have ended up being better, but if you were stood up here, so like over here, behind these people, you might have this composition where the people are like equally spread across the frame, which could have been really interesting. But this is like pretty epic lighting. And then this is nice as well. Really good depth. There's maybe like slightly too much vignetting on the left. You can maybe correct that in post. But it's cool. I'd also maybe just Photoshop out the people on the cliff and just be like slightly cleaner without them. Alright. Mazboy the one and only. Could I get a review of just one pic from Shirk? Thanks for being an awesome dude. Well, thank you very much. Oh, I can't find it. Oh no. Just a human. Howard J. sending good vibes. Well, thank you very much, Howard. Hey, I hope you have a good year. Email is... Well, I'll set you up, Mohammed. Can... Mazboy the one and only, can you try and send me your email in the chat or something, because I couldn't find it. Okay. Nighttime. I feel like this one, you can make the black slightly darker inner levels, just to like crunch the sky a little bit further down. This is interesting. It's a cool abstract. I just realized I still got the download thing showing. Oh, I'm stuck. That's a pretty epic landscape. It's a really great sense of scale. Like, that car and those houses, like, just look tiny. It's actually got really impressive dynamic range as well. Like, you've caught the highlights of the clouds, yet still, like, these really rich shadows down here. It's really nice. This is cool. I feel like, obviously I wasn't there and I don't know, but I feel like taking a step back from here and aiming a little bit down, what could make this like even more interesting is if you had the full like arch, but also like more of the bridge, so you could see like the feet of these people walking, could make it even more interesting. But that's pretty interesting. What's amazing is like how many people are looking away from the obvious fire. Like what I would expect is to like see this and see everyone looking at the attraction. Like what is interesting is like everyone looks like they're oblivious. They don't even know what's going on. Interesting. All right. I'm just gonna have to say it now. If anyone else donates anything else, please don't from now on, because I'm gonna end the stream once I'm caught up, because I need to go. So I'm afraid if you are trying to submit a donation now to get reviewed, I will not be able to. Next stream we're gonna go through more unpaid things again. Don't worry, it's not changing. So we were looking for Mazboy the one and only. Is Mazboy the one and only here? Yes, he is. Mazboy the one and only, you haven't sent me an email. As far as I can tell. I host an artist podcast. Want to be on it? Talk about photography? Do you like ice cream? An artist podcast. Send me an email. We can see. Ian with 20 Mexican dollars. All my money left, haha. Thank you, Ian, that's very kind. Matt Allen. Cheers from Chicago. Have a good 2021, George. Thank you very much, Matt Allen. You too. Let's look at Matt Allen's photo quickly. It looks really 3D, don't you think? Like that. That's street art. It's really nice teals. Nice. I like it. Also, again, nice tails. I feel like this one's like slightly too bright. Like the skin is just about clipping over here. And it could be nice if you had a black poly on the left side. It would just contour the face like a little bit more, like a bit more contrast. And you can see like the shadows are falling off on the left hand side. Like it could be nice if it was more evenly lit. You could do this like reverse vignetting that side. But it's cool. It's nice. Shout out to Steezy in the chat. Hey Steezy, can you help me out? With the next stream I want to do. I'm planning on doing these streams like weekly, if not like every 2 weeks. This stream severely has lacked from no music. Can we get a Steezy negative feedback collab of playlist music in the background to study and relax to? That would be pretty cool. Thank you, Thanos, for your kind donation. And Mike Davies putting a delay on the chat. Yes, I will figure out everything. I'll get some moderators. This is the second stream, so I'm still figuring it out. But we are gonna get better. You know. Ian, if you tell me your email, I can find it, but your name on YouTube that came through was just Ian, so it's a bit hard. I'm gonna guess it's the most recent one. Ian G. Very green. It's cool. I feel like something which would benefit this is like, it might actually be physically impossible, but I would like to see more separation between the central tree and the background. Whether that was like, if the lighting was more angled that it was only touching this tree, could be cool. If you were closer and it was shallower depth of field so that the tree was more separated, could also be cool. But I don't know if that's actually physically possible. What I do really like is how like this green down here looks like a carpet. Looks so nice. It's pretty cool. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen like such snowfall like perfectly captured in midair. That's really cool. Someone said looks like Windows XP. I like that one a lot. It's really cool. Oh, Eddie the Champ has provided his name. I remember him saying roast me. I can't find you. Search Ed Hayden. Nothing's coming up. Thanks, Mazboy, the one and only. Alright. Oh, was that the wrong Ian? Oh, goodness. This is the correct Ian. This is cool. Very nice teal. And like... is he looking at himself? It's interesting because like this photo feels like slightly desaturated, yet the blues are still really popping. So I'd be interested to see if you could bring out more of the reds. This one's cool. Turkey Twizzler plants. It's nice. I'd like to see if you could, like, I think it was the camera you were using, but the way the blue in the sky fades off to the top left, if that was like more even with the sky, it was like a straight gradient going up, I think that'd be really nice. But they're cool. Thank you for sending them in. Greetings from the Philippines, Ian. Well, greetings from the UK. Alright, this is it, everyone. I'm calling it here. I'm looking at one more, and we're all done. Okay? Got Mike Davies.
Was this shot on film?
The first thing which sticks out to me about this is like it doesn't feel quite straight. Like I like the perspective of the tunnel, but your horizon doesn't feel quite right. It feels like it needs to be turned counterclockwise like 1 or 2 degrees. And then it will just like, because you're using an image which is like so architecturally based, I feel like straight lines are really important. This one's interesting. With like the sub-framing of the building in the garage. I feel like what could make it even better is just having it like slightly brighter. And then you've got a similar thing going on where like this blue line across the top could be straight. And you've got the problem of having another line here which is maybe more straight than this line, and that maybe the actual place was wonky. But what you could do is on Lightroom, there's the like full-on perspective warp tool in the bottom of the develop panel, and you can just draw a guideline. So what I would do is draw a guideline across this one, draw a guideline across this one, and draw a guideline across this one, and then it'll just make sure everything's like equal, and I think that always ends up looking better. Alright, thank you so much to everyone that has been here. This is the last thing I'm doing this year. I mean, the new year starts in a few hours over here. But thank you so much for being here today, but also being here over the last year and participating in whatever I put out. It's very much so appreciated. I'm probably going to do another one of these streams within the next week. I'm hoping to make them weekly, if not bi-weekly. So, hopefully you enjoy it and we can keep this going. Next time, I'm going to try and get through more of your photos. This is the second stream ever, so it's only going to get better, more polished, more interesting. If anyone wants to be a moderator in the chat, send me like an email or something. Thanks for being here, everyone. Have a great new year.